your host, Superstar. Thank you very much for tuning in. Look what I got. It's Knightfall Catwoman. This Catwoman is from one of the last figures I'll probably review from the DC Essentials line, direct from the source. I hope in some form of capacity DC Collectibles do come back, as it is sad to see them go. They made great figures and I've loved collecting them over the years. This figure, though, was sent to us absolutely free of charge by Zavi, so thank you very much, Zavi, for the hookup with this awesome action figure. And she is still readily available on Zavi's website, so please do check it out. But guys, this is such an awesome looking figure. And it is from the Knightfall storyline from the 90s, which I'm very, very happy to finally have. I love Catwoman in this purple costume. This is what I grew up on, the purple costume in the comics. Even though at the time when I was a kid, Michelle Pfeiffer was in the black leather. But, you know, this one will still always be my favourite of the Catwoman costumes in that classic-looking purple. I just love it. So, DC Essentials Catwoman action figure. DC Essentials is a line of 7-inch action figures based on DC characters with universal appeal, accessible to both long-time collectors and those just starting out, which delivers authentic details from the company with 2 decades of experience creating high-quality action figures. Depicting in her popular costume from the 90s Knightfall storyline, Gotham City's Feline Fatale is the indispensable anti-hero to pair with the DC Essentials Batman action figure. Cool. Yeah, I don't actually have the Knightfall Batman. I would like that Knightfall Batman, though. It looks awesome. Ooh, that classic blue. Alright, guys, let's go ahead and crack it out of the packaging. So, everyone knows that Harley Quinn is my go-to DC girl, but my other go-to DC girl is also Catwoman. I do like Catwoman. I also like Poison Ivy as well. Those were my favorites. I don't know why. I always like the women of Gotham, should we say? I always like those characters. Even like Batgirl, Batwoman. I've read their comics more than Batman, I think. And I still love Harley Quinn to this day. Harley Quinn will always be my girl, and it's not because of Margot Robbie, like a lot of people who have jumped on the bandwagon after the films have come out. I were a lover of Harley Quinn from being young, when she was originally in the DC animated series. Batman, the animated series, rather. And I've told the story 1,000 times, but the animated series was my go-to program as a kid, and I used to sit and watch the Christmas special every Christmas, without fail. I used to wake up early, not even open my presents. I used to wake up early and go downstairs, get a big bowl of cereal, and used to sit and watch the animated series while enjoying my cereal early morning with a nice drink, and watch that animated special, the Christmas with the Joker. It'll always be my favourite. But anyway, guys, I digress. Let's take a look at Catwoman, because she looks absolutely immaculate. This figure is beautifully done. Really like that face sculpt, first of all. Awesome. Loving the actual claws on the hands this time around. Very nicely done. I'm just warming up the joints and bending them in slowly, as you can really damage figures by not warming up the joints properly. So I'm just allowing them to move naturally on their own before we go and take it to the desk cam and move her around and whatever. So there we go. All of the board joints at this point do seem more or less activated now. There though. Ooh, that one. There we go, that one. Knees. Oh, she even got a shin break, nice. Alright, articulation. So the head is on a ball joint, so you can make her look up and down as well as left and right. She is hindered a little bit by the hairpiece, but it's a very nice hairpiece, very cool looking. So yeah, that is hindered a little bit, but it's okay. Her arms do lift up as well as outwards, down, around, or full 360 there. In the bicep hinge, which is nice. Double hinge elbows, which is nice for this one as well. I'm just trying to make sure that other hinge is activated because it's not bending. So I may need to get some hot water on that. If you ever have issues like this, don't force them like I'm trying to do now. Always get some hot water, because either hot water or the hairdryer will just free it up. It'll be stuck, a little bit of paint or something, or a little bit of plastic will just be caught, and a little bit of heat will eventually do it. But if you've been playing with toys a long time like me, there we go, then you should be able to just maybe give it a little play with like I've just done, and it will activate on its own. It's just about warming up that plastic, just by rotating it and moving it. Yeah, if in doubt, if you're scared of anything, you don't want to break her, which I fully understand, you make sure you use that hot water. Hands are on ball joints there as well. You can move her around at that waist swivel, which is nice. Crunch her forwards and backwards quite far, actually. She's got a lot of movement there, which is great, and even side to side. Her legs do lift out pretty far, as well as forwards, backwards, with a top thigh cut and double hinged knees, which go all the way back. She's even got shin break, which is nice. You can rotate there too. And her feet are on rocker and pivot. However, she doesn't have any holes in her feet for display bases, sadly. So you cannot use a display base with this figure. For me, though, it's Catwoman, so I wouldn't want to use a display base. I'd probably have her in a crouch position more than likely anyway. So as long as I can crouch her down, I'm planning, and I've done it as well, first time. Awesome. I'm going for this kind of a pose where she's going to have that, if I can just get this other foot to activate properly. There we go. Get that there. There we go. Then just find the balance point. Sorted. Found it. Right. So yes, I've got her in this position for my shelf. She's a Catwoman, so you kind of want to have her crouched in some sort of feline pose. Don't particularly want to have her standing if I can help it. I do like posing. This figure is going to get some serious action figure photography this weekend. I can see it coming. That's going to be awesome. She's a very nice figure. Awesome. Ooh, that elbow is still giving me some jip though. I'm going to warm that up. But guys, let's take a closer look at this figure. So let's head on down to the desk cam where you'll be able to see her properly up close. So let's head on down to the desk cam. So guys, here she is on the desk cam looking awesome. Love the pose I managed to get her in. Shame she won't be able to stay in that pose on my shelf, as I'm going to have to put her... then again, she might be able to if I stand her in front of Harley Quinn. We'll see. But yeah, the figure itself is absolutely beautiful. I'm loving that purple colour. It looks really nice. And again, with the black long gloves, with the pointed claws. This is my favourite costume of the 90s. And yeah, it's definitely the Catwoman that I remember reading as a kid. And I think this is a great representation in action figure form. And the people at Zavvi knew that. I've mentioned it in a video, if you remember, a while back. It was one of my podcasts, actually, that I mentioned that I liked the purple Catwoman. And then Zavvi got in contact, said they had her in stock. Because I was saying that I was struggling to find her since DC Collectibles had shut down. And they had her readily available in stock. So I was quite happy. And they said that I could have one for review. So I was very blown away with that. So thank you very much, Zavvi. And again, this is just such a great figure. I'm so happy to have her in my series. You guys know I'm a massive fan of the ladies of DC. So she's going to be well at home in my collection. But let's see how she scales against other figures. So Catwoman is almost 7 inches in height, so she's definitely out of scale with most Black Series and Marvel Legends figures. She is standing pretty tall, so she's going to scale better with your McFarlanes and NECA figures, as I'll display. There she is with Diamond Select Boba Fett. As you can see, the scaling's a lot nicer there. There she is with McFarlane's Scorpion. As you see, again, scales a lot better with the McFarlanes and NECA figures and stuff, in my opinion. So she will definitely scale with sort of your NECAs, McFarlanes, and Diamond Select 7-inch scale products, rather than your Hasbro 6-inch stuff. So there she is on the DC shelf, next to Harley Quinn, and some other figures from my range. Love this shelf. Some great figures on that shelf. And there is some room, so I do have a couple of spaces for some new DC figures to go there, so I'm not sure who's going to fit in that spot yet, but I will fill it in the coming days. So Catwoman, thank you and welcome to the collection. So guys, what are your thoughts on this Catwoman figure? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's review, then please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Subscribing really supports us, it really helps us out, and helps us to keep making awesome videos like this. Guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, I'm your host, Super Sorrel, and I'll see you in the next video. And until next time, may the Force be with you.